Cześć, witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie z tej strony Remixa. To jest kolejny odcinek Zagrajmy w Runaway 2. Ostatni odcinek troszkę ucięło końcówkę, za co przepraszam, ale tam była tylko rozmowa z Joshuą. Miałem go przekonać do zjedzenia surowego sushi. No i udało się. Jak wiecie, większość z tych rozmów jest nudna, to była jedna z nich. I muszę sobie przypomnieć, co my tutaj mamy. Butelka, to są chyba te perfumy.
Girl bear pheromones are not my idea of a great perfume, but Wazowski is kind of an odd guy.
Dobra. Mam tak, pusty karnister, olejarkę, drewno, piłę widzę mam, ten liść. Kij hokejowy, nie wiem do czego on będzie, ale dobra. Chodźmy póki co może do wieży. Zaraz, czy stąd dało się do niej dojść? Profesor Simon chyba... Zaraz, gdzie jest ta wieża? Tu jest ta wieża, dobra. Siekiera. Czy mogę w ogóle porąbać to drewno?
No, I'd rather carry them one...
Dobra. Czy tutaj jeszcze coś ciekawego mogę znaleźć? Zaraz się przekonamy. Gumowa rurka.
This kind of thing always seems to prove handy. I'll take it.
Właśnie, to jest gumowa rurka, ja myślałem...
In the end, it's the simple things in
Nie wiem,
life that
tak.
turn out to be the most useful.
Jakiś taki zawinięty kawałek metalu, tak moje pierwsze skojarzenie to było. No to jednak gumowa rurka. No nic. Czy na gitarze graliśmy? Nie wiem.
Okay, I could try to see what happens. Maybe if I turn these screws... Cool. Now it sounds much better.
No dobra, no to jak brzmi lepiej, no to zagraj na niej. Co nie?
Whoa, was that me? Amazing. Someone must have instilled this talent in me without my knowledge.
Tak. Moment.
I don't think it'd be of any use. But what the heck? This isn't the first time I take something without knowing what I want it for.
Jasne.
It'll be easier to carry
Wątpię,
if I
żeby było
roll
mi
it
to
up.
potrzebne, ale wezmę. Dobra. Zejdźmy na dół, no bo kurczę. Co, może do Wazowskiego jeszcze pójdę? Spróbuję. Pogadajmy z nim.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
O, zaraz. Nie wiem, czy to
You
pytaliśmy.
wouldn't happen to know how to make sushi, would you?
Well, as you guessed, I don't know how. And go figure, because I've been to Japan a couple of times, but I know nothing beyond traditional cooking. In steak with mashed potatoes, I have eyes
Trochę
for nothing
dawno
more.
ostatni raz grałem. Nagrałem sobie dużo odcinków na zapas, ale teraz taką przerwę zrobiłem.
And I'm assuming you don't have a book with the recipe for salmon sushi?
The sushi? Not as I recall. But, if you want, I have a great one for grilled salmon. I could win the Iron Chef with that recipe, especially if the salmon's fresh.
Do you know anyone in this area who knows how to make it?
If anyone would know about that, it's Professor Simon's cook. I think he's from China, somewhere around there. But today, here's his day off, so I doubt you'll find him around. Well, then there's Archibald, but if I were you, I wouldn't want to meet him.
Archibald. Kto to?
Archibald? Who's that?
Some say he's either Bigfoot, a serial killer, a 200-pound gremlin, or a
pierdnić.
war criminal.
Już się go
People
boję.
say the darndest things. Satch, the pizza guy from Sicily, says he saw him a short while back. He was coming to deliver some pizzas to me when he heard a noise in the back of his pickup. When he got out, he saw a running shadow and chased it until he lost sight of it. When he returned to the pickup, they'd stolen the pizzas and opened up the engine. He couldn't get the pickup started, so he had to leave it around here somewhere. He's sure it was Archibald, but actually it could have been anybody.
Do you know what Archibald looks like?
The last thing I heard is he's 6'7", has a flat head, green skin, and a body full of scars.
Do you have any idea how I can find him?
No,
Jak jakiś
pal.
ork.
You don't find Archibald. He finds you. You may be asking yourself, why is Ben saying that? Well, because that's what happened to me. Not once, but twice.
Ale mi się ciężko mówi, zrobił mi się jakiś zajad na języku i... Ciężko. Seplenie trochę. Znowu musimy
So, you say you've seen
pogadać.
Archibald?
No, amigo. I didn't tell you I had seen
Ale
him,
potrzebuję to
but that
sushi
I had
zrobić.
been with him. As for seeing him the way I see you now, never.
What happened the first time you met Archibald?
The first time? Oh yeah, it was Christmas Eve. I picked up my guitar, went out on the balcony, sipped down a mug of beer, and started singing a Christmas carol. I hadn't finished the first bar when I felt a sharp object
Może
in my
teraz
head.
będzie coś
As a
nowego z tą
whispering
gitarą.
voice told me,
John Lennon sang Christmas carols much better than you, and look where he ended up. Your end may be much more cool and imaginative.
I stopped playing and asked, "You're Archibald, aren't you?" But there was nobody there.
You have no clue about where his house is?
Well, no. I've scoured the area many times, but I can't ever seem to find it. I'm starting to suspect he lives in a hole, like a bunny rabbit.
Aha, spoko.
What happened the second time he found
W
you?
norce
I was
mieszka.
sitting here having a beer when I recognized his voice.
I'm going to give you some emergency anesthesia. If you move, I'll leave you dumber than you are now.
I felt something hit my head, and I fell to the floor. When I woke up, I saw I'd been blindfolded. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but you get my drift. I said, "Where am I? Who are you? What do you want from me?" I thought my kidnapper was a competing bear scientist, so I yelled, "You'll never get me to tell you my theory, no matter how hard you torture me." But that wasn't the deal. He said his name was Archibald, and that he was a chef. He just invented a tarantula venom salsa, and he wanted to experiment with me to see if the venom was still poisonous after being boiled. Thank goodness it wasn't. But it was quite a laxative.
Well, let's stop talking about
Yeah.
Archibald for now.
As you wish, but don't ever call him Archie. He gets mad with rage.
Okej.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Myślę, że dowiedzieliśmy się to, co chcieliśmy właśnie usłyszeć. Spróbujmy teraz może zagrać na tej gitarze.
Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. I better go outside so he can hear me all right. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you!
O, żeż ty!
Darn. Wait for me to...
That's too bad.
Dostał w
His
łeb.
nose didn't even bleed.
Ej, Brian, wziąłeś tą puszkę, całą rzucił w ciebie? What the fuck?
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken.
What the fuck?
Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at this very moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
Sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Mam
I
pieniądze.
have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace. The man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want,
Sake.
it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the
Dobra,
proper
dobra, ale
ingredients.
ile ty
And
chcesz
I'm
hajsy
missing some
za to?
essentials for sushi.
Jakich składników trzeba?
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case,
What?
salmon.
Zaraz.
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi.
Wasabi.
No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste.
Co za mów?
I
Jezu.
think I have some soy sauce and ginger
Do
around
jedzenia?
here. So that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either. Or a bamboo mat for rolling up
Pałeczki
the maki
bambusowa
sushi.
mata.
If we were to get all of the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
Ile masz? Pierwsze co przychodzi mi do głowy to, że nie mam nic.
Wait a sec.
How much? Times with you seem to last as infinitely
Co
as
jest?
your
Nic nie
stupidity.
kliknąłem.
They have no end.
Aha, czyli
I think I've got about $1,000
czasówka. Potem
Is
odchodzi
50
i będę
okay?
musiał pewnie
No,
znowu.
1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid.
Co?
You get
Aha.
the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the
1000
chopsticks and the
dolarów.
algae. And I'll take care
Najdroższe
of the
sushi
rest.
na świecie.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat coming from you.
Aha.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle, if you know how. But you'd
Thanks.
better not bother me without a good reason.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running.
Co jest?
What a nut!
Nie było tego.
Great. The important thing
Napisów.
is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that, yes, I bet I can use that Chinese sign I grabbed at Wazowski's as a
Okej,
makeshift
to
map.
jedno mamy.
What a relief. One less thing to worry about. And this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. It's always nice to know you've got half the things you need without moving a finger.
Już dwa. Potrzebne pałeczki. Myślę, że mógłbym pociąć drewno i
Maybe I could carve something resembling
uzyskać
chopsticks.
właśnie te pałeczki z tego.
Well, it can't hurt to try.
Samą siekierą. Samą siekierą robimy pałeczki. Okej. Aha.
Look at
Aha.
that. I did a pretty
Okay.
good job.
Jakie równiutkie. Kot. Dobra, mamy pałeczki. Mamy tomaty, mamy liścia. Co on jeszcze tam chciał? Czy to nie, no jeszcze łosoś, nie? No raczej. Zaraz, moment, tylko... jakby łososia tutaj zdobyć? Spróbujmy go wezwać. Może tak? Czy tak?
Archibald gave it to me so that I could call him.
Czyli co? On automatycznie go przyzwie, czy jak? Albo moment. O, tak.
Well, maybe my chef can get to work with the things I've gathered.
Chyba jeszcze łosoś tylko, nie? Czy coś jeszcze? Teraz co to jest? Gwizdek na psy? Bo to tak, on przyszedł.
I brought you some of the
Nie ma
things you
kapcia,
asked
ma
for to make the
głostopy?
sushi. You mind if I ask you something, Archibald? Do you know
Dobra, może
Professor
wypytajmy
Simon?
go o
The
wszystko.
best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion. Doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
Are you ready?
Osobiste
My
pytanie.
questions are somewhat personal.
Well, in that case, we could start playing our old game again, but backward. Every time you open your mouth, you give me another reason to feel sorry for your pathetic self and put an end to your sorry, meaningless existence. Considering the vegetative state of your brain, it would be a true act of euthanasia.
Tak. Archibald na pewno nie jest jakoś strasznie przyjazny do nas nastawiony.
Don't leave.
Nie
There's more to
odchodź.
come.
God, who rebooted this kid?
Stój. Jak możesz usłyszeć...
How
Dobra,
can you hear a
pytajmy
whistle
może
that
go.
doesn't make any sound?
Of course it makes sound. It's one thing for most human beings to be half deaf, and another thing for me to
Aha,
share
czyli
all your
rozumiem, że ty
flaws.
masz dobre ucho. Będziesz boso, bo nie masz butów, czy założyć
Are you
jakieś...
barefoot because you don't own
śruby?
any shoes? Or did you make some sort of vow?
Is that what you think? Well then, let's just say I made a promise never to reveal why I go barefoot. Go figure that one out, kid.
Twój... Co? Prysznic nie działa jak należy i pralka też, prawdę mówiąc.
Looks like your shower isn't working right. Or your
Obraźmy
washing
go.
machine for that matter.
You're calling me a pig, aren't you? Well, get over it. I smell like myself, like a human being.
Tutaj nie
In
da
other
się
words,
nic,
what I'm
nie da się
supposed to
przegrać
smell
w tej
like.
grze,
If I'm
nie
not
da się
mistaken,
umrzeć,
you
więc
smell like body milk,
spokojnie
shaving
możemy
mousse,
z nim
aloe vera
gadać
gel,
czymkolwiek.
conditioner, artificial aromas B303, F507 and H452,
Nawet jak się obrazi,
along
pójdzie
with a
sobie, to i
perfume
tak
made
go
from
zawołamy
camel sweat
zaraz.
that happens to be in fashion. Conclusion, the only dirty pig here is you. And you spent a fortune to get that way on top of it.
Okej, spoko. Co? Uderzenie związane z oczy podejść... Jad tarantuli.
Wazowski says you hit him, blindfolded him, and gave him tarantula
No tak
venom.
mówił.
Wazowski is an imbecile. He was so drunk he fell down the stairs in his own house, so I threw him over my shoulder and dragged him back up. I put a wet
Pomógł.
rag on his forehead and eyes to lower his fever, but the guy started to get delirious and spewed a bunch of nonsense about his theory on bears. Then I made him a nice broth out of Terra brachula, a harmless brachiopod, and left him sleeping. The rest is a product of his moronic imagination.
Jestem skłonny uwierzyć Archibaldowi, Archiemu.
Do you know
Ja cię,
Wazowski's theory about
ale
why bears
ziewam
scratch themselves?
straszliwie.
I'm not just familiar with it. The theory is actually mine. I'm the one who discovered that female bears in heat scratch birch trees to get the sap out. It's as sweet as honey and can be used to make syrup. I noticed that right afterward, they rub their back against the tree to get all covered in it. Then a bear comes along, smells her back, gets on top of her to enjoy the delicacy, and well, nature takes care of the rest. But I don't care about Wazowski stealing the theory from me. I'm used to that kind of thing. Plus, the poor devil has to get some kind of enjoyment.
I think we should talk about more important things, Archibald.
I shudder to think what type of things are important to you.
Składniki...
I'd like to ask you about the ingredients I have to find for the sushi.
Powiedz mi jeszcze raz.
Amazing. Your 80 kilos of weight have the same brain capacity as the 8
Dobra.
grams in a goldfish. So what is it you don't understand?
Gdzie w tej okolicy można dostać łososia?
Tell me how to get my
Aha,
hands on a
czyli
salmon
rozumiem,
in
że
these
tego
parts?
łososia
No
muszę
way,
znaleźć i
kid.
bardzo...
I've got a fishing pole I found around here, but there's no way I'm lending
Okej,
it to you.
czyli
So you
wędki
better
będziemy
just go
musieli
ask
sobie
your
sami
moron of a
poradzić, nie
friend.
mamy
I've seen
wędki.
him imitating the bear's fishing
Może jakiś
technique a
ten
bunch of times, so
wykorzystamy.
go work it out with him.
Getting
Kij
back to what you were saying,
Don't say another word.
do
Your
hokeja.
elephant-like memory has failed you again.
$1,000 is a bit steep for a plate of sushi.
No,
I think
troszeczkę
it's
za
only
dużo.
fair that you lower your price a bit.
Whatever you say. But if we lower the price, it's only fair that we lower the quality
Aha.
too. So, in the end, I get less than $1,000. Then you get a dish of sushi with no fish, no rice, and whatever I feel like sticking in. It depends on how well you can take another bottle in your face.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat coming from you.
Okej, pogadaliśmy z Archim o wszystkim już, więc teraz co? Trzeba zdobyć tego łososia. Nie chciałem iść tu.
No, I'm not leaving. Plus,
Dobra. Zaraz, co jak tutaj trzeba? Może tutaj tą rzekę jakoś rozwalić lód i sobie połowić?
The ice layer seems thick. No, the gods haven't summoned me to walk on water.
Mhm.
I don't think it'll do any good to climb.
Nie marudź, tylko właź i obczyj
Just like I
sytuację.
said, nothing.
Dobra. Wazowski. No kurde, chciałbym łososia złowić.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Sensi.
I'd like to ask you.
Sure, my friend. If I have them, they're yours.
Świeży łosoś.
Fresh salmon.
You know, I had a salmon steak that Chow gave me, you know, Professor Simon's cook, but this morning my stomach started to growl and, well, I fed it to the bears. Yeah, that's it. The real, honest truth. You bet your bear hide.
I don't think you're gonna have everything I need, so just forget it.
It's up to you.
You mentioned
Well, I'm not sure.
bear essence. Don't tell me you liquefy bear.
No, pal. I make the essences. I won't be so rude as to explain, but I will tell you.
How?
I have essences of honey. Oh no, so
Dobra, tu już gadaliśmy. O Boże.
I have.
No.
Dobra,
Okej.
idziemy od niego. Nie dowiemy się tutaj jak... Ja myślałem, że ktoś przyszedł do domu. Stąd to zwiecha. Cofajcie. Tutaj mamy samochód, no ale... O, benzynę bym potrzebował, może w samochodzie jest.
This is gonna leave a gross aftertaste, but oh well.
Jezu, fu. Uda mu się? Będzie tako po prostu wyleciała, czy...
Yeah. Talk about needing
O,
a mint.
fu, kurde.
It isn't full, but that should do.
Okej, czyli mamy benzynę. No to co? Ale czy to starczy tutaj?
I bet the chainsaw won't run on just gasoline alone.
No właśnie. Sama benzyna nie. Tylko skąd wytrzasnę coś, żeby zmieszać z benzyną? W domku? Nie mam pojęcia, nie mam pojęcia. Dobra, myślę, że póki co zakończę odcinek, a w następnym sprawdzę, co do końca trzeba zrobić, bo teraz nie wiem, gdzie znaleźć coś, żeby zmieszać z benzyną i wlać do tego do piły spalinowej. No to raczej nie, no to są perfumy, no to chyba, że
That won't
tutaj
do any good.
nie. To jest puste. Dobra, no to co? Dzięki za oglądanie, mam nadzieję, że się podobało. Jeśli tak, ocencie, skomentujcie film. I do zobaczenia w następnym odcinku. Trzymajcie się, cześć.